And People's Party or not, a third party run, I think, we'll have to see. We will have to see as the process goes on to see if that coalition, if he is willing to deliver his voters to Biden, we'll kind of see that. But that's kind of what I'm predicting so far. Lovely. Cornel West is running for president and recently announced his run. So let's go take a look at his little video here. I'm excited. I think we all should be at least a little bit excited. Make sure that's like not all funky. All right, cool.
In these bleak times, I have decided to run for truth and
one side of my headphones. Is that what's
in
yes,
these
I guess it is.
bleak times? I have decided to run for truth and justice, which takes the form of running for president of the United States as a candidate for the People's Party.
What the fuck was that? Oh, wow, did they really interrupt it? Okay, well, that's fucking stupid. Where's Cornel West's Twitter? I think I saw the video was on his like Twitter. Here we go.
In these bleak times, I have decided to run for truth and justice, which takes the form of running for president of the United States as a candidate for the People's Party. I enter into quest for truth. I enter into...
Okay, so I did see that it's People's Party, and I am a bit... We'll talk about it. We'll talk
quest for justice.
We'll talk about it.
And the presidency is just one vehicle to pursue that truth and justice, what I've been trying to do all of my life. I come from a tradition where I care about you. I care about the quality of your life. I care about whether you have access to a job with a living wage, decent housing, women having control over their bodies, health care for all, de-escalating the destruction of the planet, the destruction of American democracy. Democracy creates disruption.
So off the bat, I want to say, like, off the bat, I can't help but say, regardless of whatever you think about, Cornel West as a candidate, and regardless of whatever you think about the People's Party, how do I word this properly? Cornel West is offering, I think, something that is valuable in terms, at the very least, of like a message, right? The best thing we can hope for is, if he's going to be running third party, if there is a coalition built between, him as a candidate and, quite frankly, I'll be honest with you, and Biden. That's kind of, I think, our best case scenario is we see, I would love to see Cornel West really galvanize a good bit of support and be able to deliver some of that support to Biden with, and this is, we saw a bit of this play out during the previous Democratic primary. We saw Bernie Sanders and Joe Biden both obviously running in that primary, but we eventually saw that once Bernie had gotten out, it was time for negotiation for him to essentially hand over the messaging around him, the energy around him, to Biden. We kind of, with a lot of candidates, what you're going to see, even with Marianne, you're going to see it a lot with the in the Republican primary that's going to be coming up. You're going to see a lot of people make runs, not because they're going to win. And I don't think Cornel West has a shot of winning, but I think Cornel West has a good opportunity to push the messaging that and push for kind of the energy that needs to be there in a Biden campaign that I don't think is going to be there. I think that come, election day, come election season in 24, right? We are going to see a very lackadaisical, we're going to see a very, really just lazy Biden campaign. And it's not to say that I think that they're not going to do anything, but I do think their messaging, like, my prediction is their messaging is going to be very, we only did half the job, reelect us to finish the job. I can see that being the central message of the Biden campaign. We need to finish building. Biden, if you use that, you owe me. Let me tell you right now, you owe me if you use that. But yeah, that's how I see this campaign playing out. It's going to end up being we need to finish the job, and if we turn back now, we can't finish making the progress that the soul of the country and the heart of the eye of the storm that is going to bring the voters to the floor of the House and the peoples and all this shit, right? That is what I see being the message. Unfortunately, that's let's be honest, it's unconvincing. Over the last, what are we at? About 3.5 years, Biden has, while not been like a complete failure by any means, certainly has gone back, or at the very least, delivered half measures in places where he made strong promises. In the amount of time that Biden's been president for 3.5 years, we've had no police reform, we have had no minimum wage increase, we have had women's reproductive rights taken away, we have not forgiven any student loan debt, let alone the 50 that Biden was campaigning on, the 20 that he compromised on, and the 10 that he eventually settled on, for everybody. Meaning we're already taking a half measure of a half measure of a half measure. But point there being, Biden's gonna have a lot of problems really trying to communicate that the last 3.5 years have been, I think, worthwhile. Or I guess maybe it's been 2.5. It's been 2.5 now. I don't know why I kept saying 3.5. But point is, up to that point, I think he's gonna have a lot of trouble branding himself as that firebrand, because Trump at the end of the day, that's going to be his brand. It seems like, based on how he's been acting so far, I think he understands that 2016 is where he needs to be. He needs to be 2016 Trump. And I think we're going to see that. But he's got Pence, he's got DeSantis, he's got Nikki Haley, he's got, is it Scott something? What is it? Eric Scott, I think. I don't remember. It doesn't matter. Tim Scott. I think it's Tim Scott. He's got Tim Scott. He's got a lot of challengers that he's now going to be taking down, right? And because of that, there's going to be all this momentum. All of the momentum. It's almost like in sports, like every time you play Call of Duty, you start getting those kills, you start racking up that kill streak, and you just start reacting. You're hitting that sprint, you're hitting the lean on them corners. I don't know how the fuck people play these days. I play a lot slower. But point is, when you pick up that momentum through the primaries, you get like an engine going, right? Whereas Biden's not going to have much of a primary, meaning he's not going to have any of that momentum. And he's going to need somebody like a Marianne Williamson, like a Cornel West, to galvanize support, to create momentum and create a movement around messaging, around policies, to then deliver to his voters, basically, or deliver to those voters to Biden. That's what I think is best case, and that's what we can expect to see. Would I love to see Cornel West win? Obviously. No shit. Do I think that's likely? No. But and People's Party or not, a third party run, I think, we'll have to see. We will have to see as the process goes on to see if that coalition, if he is willing to deliver his voters to Biden, we'll kind of see that. But that's kind of what I'm predicting so far. But love Cornel West. I mean, the guy's a fucking legend. It's depressing because we don't have We don't have Bernie this year. So we don't have that. We don't have a, in the eyes of the structures that decide who is and who isn't a legitimate contender, we just don't have that legitimizing tool of having a senator this year, sadly. But
it creates an eruption. It creates an interruption. Wide from below, the energies of everyday people is manifest. And I know there are precious people in your life who you care for. That's why it's important for you to be involved, important for you to participate. We're not talking about hating anybody. We're talking about loving. We're talking about affirming. We're talking about empowering those who have been pushed to the margins.
And this is a really great message. Like, again, Biden's messaging is going to be keep me in power. Cornel West's messaging is going to be one of empathy and going to be one of like camaraderie. And I think that we're going to really need that come 2024, because there's going to be a lot of different coalitions who are inevitably, unfortunately, going to feel burned by Biden's administration. That's just a fact. There are going to be progressives who want nothing to do with Brandon. There are going to be union workers who are going to be turned off by his response to the railway strikers. Even though his labor department has been good, some of those more high profile, I think, stumbles and high profile, like the railway strike, with high profile disappointments are going to hold back some people. And it's going to be good to have Cornel West there to be a representative of them and somebody who can convince those groups to kind of bite the bullet on Biden. Again, I know that I'm talking about this as if he already lost, but I really don't want to give anybody the expectation or the hope that we're looking at something yet that is a real contender and a challenger. I'm happy he's there. I support him being in the race, absolutely. But this is what I genuinely think is going to be the likely outcome by the end of it all.
Because neither political party wants to tell the truth about Wall Street, about
True.
Ukraine, about the Pentagon.
Ooh, wait. Whoa. What was that? Hold up. I heard Wall Street.
About big tech. About the Pentagon. Because neither political party wants to tell the truth about Wall Street.
True.
About Ukraine.
Okay. This worries me. The Ukraine bit worries me a bit. I don't know if I've seen his takes on Ukraine. I mean, if he's talking about just the general capture of the military-industrial complex, then I'm right there with him. But I'm not sure for the People's Party what their take is on Ukraine. I'm a bit worried about that, but hopefully as he shows up on talk shows more, does more interviews, we'll kind of get some light on that. Drew, my brother, what is up? What is up, my guy?
About the Pentagon, about big tech.
Neo-fascists like Brother Trump or milquetoast neoliberals like Brother Biden.
Goddamn.
Wow.
Goddamn
I'm so
right.
happy to make a world-shaking decision. You know what I mean?
Well, I know gangsters when I see them. And gangster's not a subjective expression. It's an objective condition. Do we have what it takes?
Hiking.
We shall see.
Man, you're such
But
an outdoorsy
some of us
guy.
are going to go down fighting, go down swinging.
Yeah, we gotta link up.
Style
We gotta link up soon.
And a smile.
I had to make a bunch of car
Accenting
payments, so I had to
the
take
best
it
in
easy.
you
But
and
I'm almost
trying to
recovered, so.
tease out the best in me. Let's do it together.
Okay, I like it. Does he have a? He said he has a website. I'm kind of curious. I want to see if he has any. Oh my God, Jesus Christ! I'm a bit curious. I'm morbidly curious. I hope I'm not disappointed by. Ukraine? Let's see. Neo. No, I don't. Okay. Hopefully he comes out more with stuff about Ukraine, because I am super curious about his Ukraine takes. But we'll kind of see. You know the thing. You know the thing that they tell, like at the end of all YouTube videos where they tell you to like click on one of these like things to watch more videos. Yeah, I've been meaning to film one of those. So that's what I was doing. I was just setting it up to